Hey AI enthusiasts, and welcome back to All About AI Tech, your go-to channel for everything AI. Today, we're tackling a massive topic, AI transparency. You've probably heard the term black box AI, right? It means the inner workings of the AI are so complex, even the developers can't fully explain how it works. This is a huge problem. We're talking about algorithms making decisions that impact everything from loan approval to medical diagnoses. Now, how can we trust something we don't even know how it operates? This isn't just a technical problem. Let's be honest, folks. A lack of transparency breeds suspicion, and that suspicion can quickly snowball into mistrust. For a technology that has the potential to address some of our most challenging issues, losing trust is a catastrophic failure on our part. The rise of AI is changing the way we manage data, access information, and make decisions. It has the potential for both good and bad, but we must be mindful of the ethical and other implications of using AI poorly. So, why do we need more transparency? Without it, we're flying blind. We can't identify biases, we can't hold anyone accountable for mistakes, and we certainly can't build the trust that's essential for widespread adoption and successful societal integration. This opacity is a significant threat and leads us into the next segment, exploring the real-world examples of the harm caused by a lack of transparency. Let's look at how the lack of transparency in AI systems can cause significant harm. Think about loan applications. Imagine this. A person gets rejected for a loan, but the bank can't explain why. The algorithm made the decision, but it's a black box. It's impossible to tell what factors led to that decision. This lack of transparency breeds mistrust and suspicion. When AI systems make decisions that affect people's lives, it is crucial to understand how these AI systems function in context. Now, what happens if this algorithm is unknowingly biased against certain demographics? That's not a hypothetical scenario. Studies have shown that AI systems often reflect existing societal biases, leading to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. In the US, we've seen cases where algorithms in hiring were biased against women or people of color. In other cases, the biases were hidden much deeper, involving the underlying assumptions embedded in the algorithm. Imagine an algorithm used for healthcare diagnostics. If the data it's trained on underrepresents a particular segment of the population, the algorithm is likely to miss diagnoses, resulting in unfair outcomes in those populations. This is devastating, guys. We're talking about real-world consequences that directly impact people's lives, livelihoods, and healthcare. It's our responsibility to demand more, to be critical of existing systems, and ask for more transparency in these critical processes. So, if biased algorithms are perpetuating ongoing inequalities, what can we do about it? This is where the concept of AI fairness comes into the picture. It's not enough to just build an AI system and deploy it. We need to ensure that the system itself is fair. This is especially important in high-risk areas like loan approvals. When an AI system makes a decision on loan applications, we need to make sure there's no implicit bias built into the algorithms. For example, the system should treat applications from different demographics impartially and make sure that applicants from underrepresented groups are not unfairly rejected. In hiring, we're seeing similar initiatives. AI systems are often used today to screen resumes and filter through applications, even identifying and ranking job candidates, performing initial interviews, and often even deciding salary. If these systems are biased, we end up reinforcing and accelerating existing systemic inequalities in the job markets, a tragic and unacceptable outcome that risks severely disadvantaging already marginalized communities. And speaking of fairness, let's not forget about the role of transparency in building fair AI systems. When the how and why of AI decisions are transparent and understandable, it becomes much easier to verify whether they are fair or not. This clarity is essential to building trust not only with clients and consumers, but also with stakeholders and government officials. We need effective data governance, from the start, to ensure that AI systems are fair and equitable. The development of fairness-aware and bias mitigation techniques are also important. Now, let's talk about a crucial approach to address AI transparency, Explainable AI, or XAI. Think of XAI as giving voice to the black box. It's about making complex AI algorithms transparent so that we can see inside and understand the decisions. It's a really valuable step. We're not just talking about technical solutions here either. It's about more than just understanding the algorithm and finding out how it works. XAI focuses on creating a clear explanation of what decisions AI is making, why they make those decisions, and how it can be used safely. This improved transparency can help with mitigating risks in several areas such as bias or discrimination, helping organizations to understand better what decisions have been made by AI and how they were arrived at. There have been some real-world implementations making AI more explainable. For example, JP Morgan Chase's Explainable AI Center of Excellence, XAICOE, that brings together researchers to focus on building XAI frameworks and technology. As part of these initiatives, advanced XAI methods can help by providing local interpretations or counterfactual explanations to achieve transparency. XAI techniques not only help to enhance the quality of decision-making, increasing transparency and trust within the technology, but also have legal and regulatory requirements, such as the EU AI Act, which mandates explainability for high-risk AI applications. So, making your AI explainable isn't just best practice, it's increasingly becoming a legal requirement. Transparency alone is not enough to ensure fairness from AI systems. That's why algorithmic auditing is critical. Algorithmic auditing involves a thorough examination of AI algorithms, typically to verify if they meet certain criteria of fairness, accuracy, and regulatory compliance. It's much more than just a one-time check, too. AI systems are constantly learning and adapting, often from data. Think of it as a continuous review process to catch bias at all stages, ensuring that the AI model isn't drifting away from expected standards. Think about financial institutions who are using AI for credit scoring. Regular audits will highlight if their algorithms are unintentionally discriminating against particular demographics. This allows organizations to not only to take corrective actions, but also to ensure that regulatory compliance is maintained, protecting the company and its users. The need for periodic algorithmic audits has become increasingly important, especially with high-risk AI applications such as in healthcare and finance. And such audits highlight the potential of AI audits for improving transparency and accountability in financial products. Recent enforcement actions against technology platforms in the United States and Europe highlight how compliance processes are still inconsistent and regulators often struggle to conduct their own algorithmic audits, highlighting the need for establishing industry auditing bodies that are equipped to monitor and evaluate AI algorithms for bias, compliance, and accuracy across sectors. Furthermore, to ensure legitimacy and credibility, these audits should be conducted by autonomous third parties. The benefits of algorithmic auditing are numerous, from achieving customer trust and increasing regulatory compliance to producing better quality products and services that contribute to a more ethical AI ecosystem across society. This next point is critical, folks, because it fuels the entire AI engine. We have to address the quality of data governance. After all, AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on. If that data is biased, incomplete, or inaccurate, the AI will output biased, incomplete, or inaccurate results, which ultimately undermines every aspect of transparency. Think about it. Garbage in, garbage out. This isn't just about having a massive data set, it's about having a good, relevant, and reliable data set that is carefully chosen, prepared, and evaluated. So what does good data governance really mean? It's about establishing clear policies and procedures, managing data sets responsibly, and ensuring that the data is accurate, reliable, and representative of the population it aims to serve. Companies using AI need to ensure that their data collection methods are transparent and ethical, that they've obtained informed consent where necessary, and that robust security measures are implemented in order to protect sensitive data. This isn't a technicality either, it highlights important issues around regulatory compliance. As recent fines for data breaches have shown, failing to pay adequate attention to data security and following best practices for privacy risk management can be disastrous and costly. AI transparency isn't just ethically imperative, it's increasingly becoming a legal requirement. The EU AI Act, for instance, establishes distinct transparency demands for different levels of AI risk. High-risk AI systems involve regulatory requirements for algorithmic transparency and ex-ante risk assessments to mitigate the potential harm. This means that developers need to document the design and purpose of the systems, the data they are trained on, and the expected outcomes, ideally including bias evaluation and risk mapping such as through NIST's AI Risk Management Framework or TC standards. The AI Act also requires that high-risk AI systems include options for user interventions and human overrides. This requirement was partly prompted by the difficulties encountered by European regulators when attempting to assess risk and liability due to the opaque nature of AI systems. In the US, we're seeing similar legal moves toward greater transparency in AI, though much more needs to be done in this area. Regulations in states such as Colorado, California, and Illinois have sought to improve transparency in AI systems, particularly around fairness issues, and many other government agencies have undertaken initiatives in the same direction. President Biden's executive order on safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence also mandates transparency and accountability in federal agencies' use of AI. Furthermore, the executive order established a key principle: AI will be developed to reflect and reinforce American values and ensure civil rights. These moves highlight the importance of ethical considerations in AI development. In short, the tide is turning. AI transparency is no longer a nice-to-have. It's increasingly a must-have, not only to engender public trust in AI, but also to comply with a rapidly shifting regulatory landscape. The future of AI is going to require that organizations adopt best practices for AI risk mitigation, fairness, and compliance. And those that embrace AI transparency will be better positioned to navigate the path ahead, securing long-term advantage and minimizing risk. So, where do we go from here? We've explored the urgent need for AI transparency, the harms caused by algorithmic bias, different approaches to building more responsible AI systems, and regulatory pressures driving this transformation. It's a complex landscape, folks, but one thing we learned today is clear. The future of AI is inextricably linked to trust. To build that trust, we must embrace open approaches and collaborate across the full AI ecosystem, from developers and end users to industry groups, regulators, and lawmakers. Building better regulations requires understanding not only the technical aspects, but also the social and ethical implications of the technology. By working together, establishing clear standards, and investing in transparency initiatives, we can ensure that AI generates benefits for society, while simultaneously protecting fundamental rights and fostering an equitable and trustworthy environment. This is just the beginning of the conversation about AI transparency, so make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know your feedback and ideas regarding building more trustworthy AI systems. What are some other areas that need better AI accountability and transparency? And I'd love to hear your ideas on how we can build those safeguards into AI systems while fostering responsible innovation.